Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on March 18th, 2015, and this was the first time that they've taken NXT out of the Florida area, showing off at the in Columbus, Ohio with the Arnold Classic. And to be honest with you, this NXT, I felt it was a fairly entertaining show. I liked the little setups towards the end, but for the most part, I almost felt like it was semi of a house show to begin with. Maybe it was just the feel and the atmosphere of the actual place itself, but it didn't really come off as a full-on TV show this week. But that's just one little nitpick there. Otherwise, I felt like it was a fairly entertaining show, and they still did a fairly good job of setting up storylines going into next week and into the weeks on. The first match they had was Kalisto versus Tyler Breeze. No real storyline set up here, just a match between the two of them, and it was a really well done and well put together match. A good way of showing off what both the guys can do, and the both of them worked really good, really well together inside the ring, showing off Kalisto's high flying abilities and showing showing off what Tyler Breeze can also do in the ring as well. Good to see that they're continuing on with a bit of Tyler Breeze's push in this case. They just have him come off the big win with against Hideo Itami. Now they need to continue that forward momentum and having him win against Kalisto in this case. So relatively well done match there. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. Next was Big Cass versus Wesley Blake, and this match itself was a nice little setup towards the tag team, towards their potential tag team title match. It's good to see that Blake and Murphy kind of get over on Enzo Amore and Big Cass in this case. It definitely plays off well in allowing them to have the kind of momentum going into whatever tag team match that they're going, tag team title match that they're going to go off into here in the near future. And it doesn't fully make them look weak, because it was kind of based on a little bit of distraction and everything that cost Big Cass the match. So relatively well done match. I think Big Cass is definitely a lot better in the ring than he was a while ago, and it definitely shows off in this match. He's still he's one of the big guys, but he's not someone who just kind of lumbers around the ring as one of those 7-footers. He has a lot of movement in the ring. He can do a lot more things than say people like where Kane and Big Show are at right now. They have a lot more that they can pull off at this point in time. He has a lot more he can pull off in the ring at this point in time than maybe say they could at this point in time. So again, another relatively good match there, and good setup going into the potential tag team title match whenever they decide to go off on that. You had a couple promos going on. One for the new NXT diva, Dana Brooke. She was showing off what she was doing at the Arnold Classic, and basically the Arnold Classic in this case. It's showing that she's coming to NXT soon, so okay, we've got a new diva coming in. We'll see what kind of character she ends out gaining over time, and as well, what can she do in the ring or on the microphone to begin with. So you had that video package. You also had a promo between Finn Balor and Alex Riley, basically talking about Alex Riley's match with Kevin Owens later that night, and then the next week's match with Finn Balor and Kevin Owens for the NXT title. Relatively good promo. I do like Alex Riley on the mic. Came off really well here. Same with Finn Balor. He's transitioned very well into the WWE, especially into the NXT side of everything. He's relatively good on the mic. Obviously, really good in the ring. What we've seen his character-wise has been phenomenal with how they've depicted him coming in. So You had that promo, relatively decent promo there, setting up for the night's main event, and then that led into Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks, and they played that off. They've been playing off their storyline since. They've been playing off the aspect of Alexa Bliss getting her nose broken by Sasha Banks in a match a long time ago, and that's what their storyline is basically going after. Also, they were playing off the fact that they were in Columbus, Ohio, with Alexa Bliss being from there. So you had a couple good things in there. The match between the two of them it wasn't overly short, but it was a relatively short match, but still did what it needed to do to set up for either the setup for an NXT title or NXT Women's title match down the line, which they're going to do with the next week. But and also the count out victory kind of makes it where it makes it look a little fluky, but it also allows Alexa Bliss to get over one in this case without necessarily having Sasha Banks get pinned at this point in time. So that will lead that did lead into William Regal making the NXT Women's title match for the next week, and we'll see how that match comes off, and what kind of and how long they'll continue on with this storyline between the two of them. It's not been a bad one. It hasn't been as well done as maybe some of the other NXT Women's matches storyline wise. But we'll see how it builds up, and if it continues on after next week, maybe they can do even better job with building the two divas into having a more not maybe interesting match, but a more interesting storyline leading into their matches. So we'll see where they go. See where they go with that one. See where they go with that here in the near future. And that does bring me to the main event of the night, which was Alex Riley, Kevin Owens. This is basically what I thought it was going to be. Alex Riley getting back in the ring, or any of these returning guys getting back in the ring. This is definitely a good way to help have them help push the new guys coming in. And that's pretty much what this was here. I mean, they had Kevin Owens basically dominate Alex Riley from the beginning of the match to the end of the match. And, it was almost like the initial match with Sami Zayn with Kevin Owens. He dominated most of the match and then just, gets the win, gets into a little bit of trouble, but then gets the win. I liked how after the match, you had Kevin Owens make it look like he was going to continue the attack with Alex Riley, but that gets interrupted by Finn Balor, and you get that confrontation between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens before they go into their NXT title match the next week. And that was a little bit of a fun brawl that you got in there. Of course, Kevin Owens getting out right before right before Finn Balor gets his finishing move off. And the one little tidbit, and I like this about Kevin Owens, you see so many times when people are running away that when someone makes the save, that they run right past the guy that they were trying to do the beatdown for and do nothing. They're just trying to run. Kevin Owens makes a little bit of a subtle touch to it where he gives one more shot to Alex Riley before he heads out of the arena. So that was a nice little touch there as well. Because taking that one last little lick, maybe they will try to keep a Alex Riley, Kevin Owens type storyline going after he's done with Finn Balor. So we'll see where they go with that. We'll see what kind of match we get next week with Kevin Owens and Finn Balor as well. So overall this week, I said at the beginning of the show that it just felt like it was almost like a house show. It did come off a little house showish. But like I said, they also did a relatively good job of, especially with the three type of title matches or title match programs that they're going with, to work in those story elements that they needed to do in this case to further and progress those storylines going into potential title matches here down the road. So that's my review this week for WWE NXT. And I thank you guys for watching.